Good afternoon, friends. Today we will talk about the most relevant events in the world. In our program, some 100 people still staying in Novaya Tavolzhanka amid Ukraine's shelling attacks. Ukrainian intelligence denies using Belgian weapons on Russian territory. Ukraine attempts recon in delta of Dnieper, situation under Russia's control, governor. Ukrainian military attempts 2 counteroffensive attacks, says Pushilin. And so let's get started. The Ukrainian military tried to launch 2 counteroffensive attacks in the vicinity of Ugledar over the past 2 days, but they were repelled, sustaining heavy losses. Acting DPR head Denis Pushilin said on Monday. Over the past 2 days, the enemy attacked twice from the direction of Remevka and sustained heavy losses both in terms of manpower and military hardware, Pushilin said. Adding that fighting continues, while the enemy has been pushed back. The Russian Defense Ministry reported earlier in the day that the Ukrainian military had failed in its attempt to achieve success as part of a large-scale offensive on 5 frontline sections in the southern Donetsk area on June 4th. Defense Ministry spokesman Igor Konashenkov reported that the enemy had brought into action the 23rd and 31st Mechanized Brigades from the Ukrainian Army's Strategic Reserve, supported by other military units and subunits. The Ukrainian side lost over 250 personnel, 16 tanks, 3 infantry fighting vehicles and over 20 armored vehicles in its failed offensive, the spokesman specified. Ugledar is located to the southwest of Donetsk. The DPR authorities earlier stated that the city was an important logistics hub. Another logistics hub in the north, Artyomovsk, was previously seized by Russian troops as well. Ukrainian forces carried out reconnaissance with small groups in the delta of River Dnieper in the Kherson region, but the situation at the contact line is under control of Russian forces. Acting Kherson Region Governor Vladimir Saldov said Monday. According to the command of Battle Group Dnieper, in the past 24 hours, the enemy undertook no active action on the Kherson direction. Meanwhile, the enemy carried out reconnaissance in the delta of Dnieper with small groups. The situation at the contact line is under full control of our forces. All escalation attempts will be thwarted immediately, Saldov said on his Telegram channel. The Ukrainian Defense Ministry's main intelligence directorate believes that all questions regarding Kyiv using Belgian-supplied weapons to strike Russian territory should go to the Russian Volunteer Corps Militia and the Freedom of Russia Legion, Directorate Representative Andrei Yusov said. Commenting on Belgium's investigation into its weapons being used for attacks on Russian territory. According to Yusov, these militias that fight on Kyiv's side allegedly act autonomously. As far as we know, they have already commented on this. In particular, in regards to captured and recouped weapons or vehicles. As for other weapons, I believe that the Defense Ministry will comment on them accordingly, he said, according to Ukrainian media. Around 100 people remain in the village of Novaya Tavolzhanka in Russia's border region of Belgorod, which continues to be shelled by Ukrainian troops, the region's governor, Vyacheslav Gladkov, said on Monday. Today, we cannot reach the village. According to the local authorities, there were some 100 people there. It is impossible to verify this data due to non-stop shelling attacks. As soon as the situation changes, we will try to persuade the people to leave the village, he said. Russian Defense Ministry spokesman Igor Konashenkov said earlier on Monday that on June 4th, 2 sabotage and reconnaissance groups made an attempt to infiltrate the Belgorod region near Novaya Tavolzhanka, but this attempt was thwarted by Russian troops and border guards. Located near the Russian-Ukrainian border, Novaya Tavolzhanka is one of the biggest villages in the Belgorod region's Shabakino district. The governor said on June 4th that the district was shelled by Ukrainian troops.